Test, test.
Testing, can you hear me?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Excited to be here today and excited to get our organizational meeting off to a start. I'm Mike Nightingale, very fortunate to be the superintendent of Lethbridge School Division, and I also have the honor and privilege of chairing the organizational meeting until such time as we have a board chair. So we'll do that, and we're going to start off with, first of all, just want to say welcome to the Board of Trustees. We have a brand new board here. Very excited to work with you and looking forward to your term and the opportunity to help move the division forward. So what we will do to begin is our territorial acknowledgement. So in the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge we live in traditional territories of the Blackfoot Nations, which include the Kainai, the Siksika, and the Piikani. We also acknowledge the Tsuut'ina and Stoney Nakoda First Nations and the Métis people, and all the people who make their homes in Treaty 7 region of Southern Alberta. So today what's going to happen is I'll do a quick overview of our process for election of the chair, make sure we're clear on that. Then we'll do election of the chair. Once that's done, then we'll get down to the business of approving the agenda, electing a vice chair, and then we've got a number of motions and resolutions that we need to pass. So that's what'll happen, and I'm going to do the initial part of the meeting and then certainly hand it over. So first, I'm just going to outline the process. If along the way anyone has a question, a concern, they're uncertain about the process, you are always welcome to ask me to stop and ask for a point of clarification. Okay, we want to make sure everyone's clear on the process, everyone knows what they're expected to do, and then we'll do that business. Okay. So for the board chair to hold office, the board chair holds office at the pleasure of the board, and the procedures. First of all, I'll be asking for nominations. And if you're nominating somebody for board chair, then you will have the opportunity to speak about that person. Usually we try and limit that to about 2 minutes per speech. And if you are going over that time, we'll just ask you to wrap that up. It's not a hard and fast that it's going to stop exactly at 2 minutes, but we'll try and help you stay within that 2 minutes. Nominees have the opportunity to accept or decline the nomination, so we'll make sure that we do that. There is no seconder required, so you just need to be nominated, no seconder needed. If an election is required, then it's done by secret ballot, and I'll go through what that looks like in a little bit. The ballots are going to be counted by the scrutineers, and by scrutineers I mean myself and our Secretary Treasurer Kyle Beauchamp. So we will take care of that process. Then once we're done, we will come back in and declare the name of the successful candidate for board chair. They will assume the chair and facilitate the meeting, and then there'll be a call to destroy ballots. Okay. If we get into situations where there's a tie or there's multiple candidates vying and we have to do multiple ballots, we'll explain how that works when we get to that, rather than trying to get through all the different permutations. We'll kind of go with the general overview, and then if we need to get into specific details, we'll certainly do this. As well, we have a bit of a unique situation. We have Christina Larkin, who's joining us virtually here today. And we have had conversations in advance of this meeting about how can we do the voting process with Christina being remote. And so what we have agreed upon is that Christina is comfortable with sharing her vote with electronically with our Associate Superintendent of Business and Operations and Secretary Treasurer. He will then put that name on the ballot and put it in as one of the votes to be counted. Okay. So given that this is a bit of a unique situation, we thought it might be wise to do a motion acknowledging that process, acknowledging that the board is in agreement with that motion. So is there somebody that would like to put a motion forward? And I can certainly read a motion for you right now that if you're interested, you can certainly amend it. But if you'd like to use the motion, we can do that. Would you like me to read the motion right now, a potential motion? Okay, so it would just be, I move that any trustee unable to vote in person for the chair or vice chair positions may, at their discretion, submit their vote electronically to the Secretary Treasurer, who will then record the vote by paper ballot on the trustee's behalf. So that would be the motion. Yes.
I so move.
Thanks, Craig. Any other discussion?
I know in the conversation that we had as a board and through some of the emails, there was also some discussion of how that would be destroyed when we destroy the ballot. So I'm just wondering if we could add that piece to it as well, if the mover would see that as a friendly amendment to just add how it would be destroyed.
So I move that any trustee unable to vote in person for the chair or vice chair position may at their discretion submit their vote electronically to the Secretary Treasurer, who will then record the vote by paper ballot on the trustee's behalf. With the submission deleted as part of the regular process. So I'll just read that once more to make sure we all know that we're discussing the same thing. I move that any trustee unable to vote in person for the chair or vice chair positions may at their discretion submit their vote electronically to the Secretary Treasurer, who will then record the vote by paper ballot on the trustee's behalf, with the submission deleted as part of the regular process. That read okay? Okay. Any other discussion? You look like you're, no? Okay. Okay. Then we will call the question. Those in favor? That is carried. Boy, I'm not used to doing that part, so I'm like, oh, I gotta remember, like, search the data banks to make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, thank you very much for that, and appreciate everybody's willingness to figure that out. And yeah, that's wonderful. Okay. So what we will do is we're going to get into the process now. And so as a reminder, I'm going to call for nominations 3 different times. Okay. And then so you'll have an opportunity to nominate someone. You'll be able to speak about that person. They will decide if they accept or decline. And then, of course, once we know who all is being nominated, then the nominees will also have a chance to speak. And again, we'll try and keep you to about 2 minutes, and we'll give you sort of a heads up at 2 minutes if you need to start wrapping up your speech. Okay. So we're going to make the first call for nomination, or first call for nominations for board chair for Lethbridge School Division for the 2025-2026 school year. So. Oh, yeah, I'm looking around the room and not looking up at the screen. Christina, go ahead.
Thank you. So as we start the term, I'm so optimistic about the capacity and passion of the board and the dedication to public education that's evident here. So to help us move forward, I nominate Christine Light as board chair. I've been clear that I really believe our community is best served by collaborative leadership, and I trust that Christine shares that view and supports changing up and developing leadership throughout this term to build teamwork, shared responsibility, and to model a community's ability to work together for education and children. To set us up for that, we must transition from our last term, orient new leaders, develop our processes, and we have to do all of this while effectively dealing with the critical issues before us this term and this year. I feel like Christine is the right choice to lead us through that for the rest of this school year. Christine's leadership as chair, vice chair, and trustee, now entering her 3rd term, brings the experience and skills we need to set us up in a good way. For our transition, I feel confident that Christine's calm and process-driven leadership will guide us through establishing respectful and collaborative ways of working. Christine has worked hard for board unity, tackling challenging conversations, remaining open to feedback, working in good faith to resolve conflict, and working to follow necessary procedures. Christine sticks to the processes like ensuring we stay on topic, addressing governance through clear motions, and supporting communication between trustees when necessary. As she always says, clear is kind, and I trust her to help us set us up for the successful term. In dealing with the urgent issues of public education, Christine is a balanced ship on rocky waves. She has offered leadership to the division through health crises, provincial government changes, significant funding changes, job action, changing regulations and legislation, and more. Her ability to dedicate time, focus her attention, and prioritize emerging issues will be necessary to our board. She's demonstrated her ability to do this and to maintain priority of one board, one voice. She has helped achieve board decisions, even when they differ from her personal priorities, and she works tirelessly to advance them. Her ceaseless work for a policy revision project and the advocacy for early years education are examples of her commitment to trustees' direction as a board. Frankly, pragmatically, for our operational teams, I am eager to reduce change for them as much as possible this year, given the many challenges this year has already presented. Consistent and ongoing leadership from Christine is very appealing to me on behalf of my communities, both for the predictability it offers and the quality that accompanies it this year, and to set the stage for the term to come. Christine knows the role, does the heavy lifting, and is well equipped to support us, support and lead as our superintendent, and to support our new group with integrity, clarity, and hard work. And I therefore nominate Christine for chair.
Thank you, Christina. Christine, do you accept the nomination?
I do. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're still in the first call for nominations for board chair. Brooke, go ahead.
I would like to nominate Alison Purcell for board chair of Lethbridge Public School Division. I've known Alison for quite some time. Always admired her dedication to the district and education as a whole in the province. I have a unique relationship because I was a trustee and she was a parent, and then those roles were reversed and she was on the board and I was a parent. So she's always been very open to what the direction of education in Alberta could be for all children. She was the president of the Alberta School Councils Association, so her integration in parents and education has been quite outstanding. I value her leadership, her experience, and her dedication.
Thank you, Brooke. Allison, would you like to accept that nomination? Okay, thank you. We are still in first call for nominations for board chair. Okay, we will now transition into the second call for nominations of board chair for Lethbridge School Division for the 2025-2026 school year. I've got good wait time as a teacher, so. Okay, and this is now the third and final call for nominations for board chair for Lethbridge School Division for the 2025-2026 school year. Okay, seeing none, we will now, well, I almost went over it, but we'll give the nominees a chance to speak, and we'll just go in the order that they were nominated. So that will be, we'll start with Christine and then we'll go to Allison. Okay, so Christine, you're up. Again, we'll keep it to about 2 minutes. We'll give you, it's not a hard and fast rule. If you go a little bit over, we'll just ask you to start to wrap it up. Okay. Okay. Yep.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Christina, for those words and for the nomination. This first year of our new board is a foundational one. It's a year to establish who we are, to build trust, and to lay the groundwork for a strong, cohesive, and united team. Over the past 2 terms, I have demonstrated strong leadership and dedicated service through my work in board and zone executive leadership, committee work, ASBA advocacy efforts, and in building relationships across our division with staff, parents, and students. I've worked to strengthen partnerships with municipal leaders and community and business partners, promoting the value of joint advocacy for our division. These relationships ensure our decisions reflect the diverse needs and aspirations of those we serve. I value process, relationship, transparency, collaboration, and accountability. These principles guide how I lead and how I believe our board should function both publicly and amongst ourselves. This will not only strengthen our work, it will grow confidence in our leadership, both within our division and in the broader community. I value unity over uniformity. Though we are diverse in our experiences and perspectives, we are joined in our purpose to serve all students, our division, our community, and public education. Each of us brings unique skills that enhance this board, and I would like us to be intentional about how we support and develop shared leadership together moving forward. Elevating student voice to an even more profound level, strengthening our board processes, continuing to refine our policies to provide a clear framework will also be of great benefit. We're in a challenging time as a division and system. We must advocate fiercely, clearly, and compassionately for the rights and dignity of every member of our community, for funding to support all students, for public education to be seen as the first choice for quality learning and equitable opportunity, and the elevation for boards and education professionals to be recognized as essential partners in meaningful engagement with the provincial government. Should you choose, I will strive to unite our team as chair and set us up for a successful term. It would be an honor to serve you, the board, and Lethbridge School Division as board chair for this upcoming year as we begin our work together. Thank you.
Thank you. Allison, you're up. And again, we'll keep an eye on the time, but if you go over a little bit, that's fine.
I'll be under. We're good.
Yep.
Good afternoon, fellow trustees. Brooke, I appreciate the nomination and the words that you spoke. Thank you very much. I come to this table knowing that we were all voted in by our constituents because we were all seen as leaders. I believe if I am chosen as the chair of our board, that I will be able to lead us to bring out the reasons we were all elected. I will be able to help lead us to grow together, to recognize our strengths, and to support each other for the areas we will learn in together. I have proven my leadership to elevate our division, to ensure that good governance and good practice are always followed. I will continue to support each of you to be able to elevate who you are and what you bring to this table. I will continue to find ways for us to speak up about about the importance of public education and the funding that supports our students, our classrooms, and our staff. I would appreciate the opportunity to serve as board chair for this upcoming year. Thank you.
Okay, now what'll happen is Kyle's going to come around. He's going to give you your ballot. You will write the name that you choose for board chair on it. You'll fold it up. He'll come back around, collect them, and then he and I will leave the room, count the ballots, and come back and let you know where we're at.
Thank you.
Okay, we do have a board chair, and I'd like to congratulate Christine Light on being elected as the board chair for the 2025-2026 school year. Congratulations, Christine. And so now what we'll do is we're going to do a little shuffling of chairs, and then do you want to come over and sit over here?
I can lead from here. Don't. That's fine. I think that's, oh yeah. What would you like? Okay. Okay, we can do that. Thank you, board members, for your support. It is greatly appreciated, and I am truly, I'm honored to be selected, and I am excited to move into this new term together as a new team, and discover our strengths and advocate for our division, each other, our lead team, our students, together in a unified way. So thank you. So now I will ask for a motion to destroy the ballots, please. Craig, those in favor? And that's carried. And so the paper as well as the electronic will be destroyed. All right. Now we have number 3, approval of the agenda. The agenda is before us. Can I have a motion to approve, please? Craig, thank you. Any discussion? Those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. All right, now we move to the election of our vice chair. As with the previous election, I will put forward 3 calls. And should you wish to nominate, you will have up to around 2 minutes to speak to your nominee. And then at the conclusion of the 3 calls, the nominees will have opportunity to speak to the board. So I'm putting up my first call for nominations for vice chair. Brooke.
I would like to nominate Cheryl Mahedin for vice chair.
Thank you, Brooke. Would you like to speak to that nomination?
Not knowing Cheryl that well, but she's committed to 4 years, and in my first introduction to her, I feel she's very capable of supporting you in your chair position. And I don't know. I just feel good about it.
We gotta feel good. Thank you, Brooke. I'm still on first call. I will move to second call for election of vice chair. Oh, sorry. Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you very
Sorry,
much.
thank you. Yes, I would accept that nomination.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kyle. I move to second call for nomination for vice chair. And I move to third call for nomination to vice chair. Seeing none. All right. Trustee Mahedin, you have been acclaimed to role of vice chair for our Board of Trustees. Congratulations. Are there words that you would like to share? I know we didn't. Yes.
No, thank you very much. I'm very humbled and pleased with this. I think that I look around this table and I see a lot of very committed, very competent, capable, informed trustees. And I know that together we will be the best board, and that we will move together to do not only what is right, but what is effective in achieving our outcomes to satisfy students, families, the public, and the school division. So thank you very much for this opportunity to serve as vice chair, and I promise you that I will work very hard and that I'm hoping to earn your respect and your confidence.
Thank you. Congratulations to you. All right, we will move on to number 5, approval of bank borrowing resolution. It is recommended that the board approve the following resolution to establish a line of credit with the Royal Bank of Canada to provide interim financing during the year 2025 to 2026, pending receipt of government grants. If I could have a trustee to please move this motion, present this motion.
I so move.
Greg? Thank you. Would you be willing to read the motion, please? I read the intro, not the actual motion. Thank you.
I move that the board approve the 2025-2026 bank borrowing resolution in the amount of $500,000 to finance the operation of the school division as required, pending receipt of government funding, that a copy of this resolution be appended to the minutes of this meeting. And I do believe, because it's a financial one, we need a seconder on this.
I do believe you're right. Do I have a second for this motion, please? Brooke, thank you very much. Any discussion? Those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. Now we move to number 6, approval of signing authority. And a motion is before us on the agenda. If I could have trustee move the motion, please. Brooke, thank you.
I move that the authority be the board chair or the vice chair and the secretary treasurer, or in their absence, the director of finance, with the exception that for the purpose of signing checks, the signing authority shall be the superintendent of schools and the secretary treasurer and the director of finance, and further that the board authorize the bank to establish an overdraft lending agreement, which has been duly executed by the proper officers of the board when loans are required.
Thank you very much. Can I have a seconder for this motion, please? Allison, thank you. Any discussion? Those in favor? And that is carried. Right now we move on to number 7, terms of reference. So it's within our policies that terms of reference are reviewed at the organizational meeting. So they are presented to you. The annual year-end reports were presented and reviewed in our September board meeting. And so here we have 12 standing committee terms of reference. So what we will do is we will present the terms of reference. I know it can be challenging to approve a terms of reference for a committee you have not sat upon. And so for your awareness, some have amendments presented with them. And certainly these are living documents. So as we move into committee work, we'll be selecting our committees next. And then as you enter into your committee work and have experience on the committee, there are certainly there's openness and opportunity to give amendments and recommendations to the terms of reference. And so even if there isn't full clarity of what the committee does, I would still deem that it's appropriate to approve these terms of reference. So first we will start 7.1.1, excuse me, the Board Audit Committee. Okay. Okay. Christina. Thank you, Kristen.
Sorry, you can go ahead if you had another thing. I just have a question about the terms of reference.
No, please go ahead.
I just wanted to, and I don't know if we need to have this conversation committee by committee, but in the previous term, we modified the terms of reference to include a second trustee on, I think, nearly every committee. Part of the purpose there was to ensure, good attendance by trustees at all the board committees, to ensure that there was adequate coverage and making sure that we had kind of overlap and understanding about what was happening in the committees, so that every committee meeting was effective. And while certainly I think there's been benefit to that, yeah, I think it's also truthfully a little bit overkill in terms of board resources. to all of the committees. And I'm wondering if there's an appetite from this board to have a discussion about that, or if this board is in agreement with continuing that as a given.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina. I would recommend that if this is an item that you would like to debate, that you present a motion for debate, and then we can have that conversation.
Would you like that on every committee or as a motion now?
I'm thinking on that one. Sure. Okay, like right now.
I'm not sure which ones have two and which ones don't.
Sure. Yeah, I'd be willing to have open discussion. I don't want to have a circular conversation around it.
Yeah.
A generalized.
Yeah, and that's fine. So I agree. So I would, I'll retract my comment. When the committees are formed, as you said, we can bring forward amendments from the committee to the board. And I think that might be a more appropriate place for that discussion. But
And certainly when we go through each, certainly as we go through each terms of reference, I think what we'll do is we'll approve them individually, the terms of reference. If there are committees that you feel would benefit with reducing the number of trustees, please bring it up there, and then that can be discussed in that way. I think that'd be a little more efficient. Yeah. Okay.
And actually, can I just jump in? Actually, as I look at it, just a reminder, Craig does have a motion in here about composition of one of the committees. So it probably does make sense to bring it up on each one. Yeah, because we will have to discuss that specifically because Craig's brought that motion forward.
Okay. All right, the first terms of reference is our board audit committee terms of reference. Are there any comments or amendments requested? Seeing none, can I have a motion to accept the terms of reference for board audit committee as presented, please? Cheryl. Okay. Cheryl has so moved. Any discussion? Those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. Now we move on to our board budget committee. And here with this, this terms of reference is presented before you, and Trustee Whitehead also has a motion that he would like to present. Yeah.
I move that the terms of reference for the budget committee be amended to be the whole board of trustees with the admin executive. Also, that the chair of this committee be a trustee that is not the chair or vice chair. And the reason because of this is that in the last basically 3 to 4 years, we've discussed the budget as a whole, even though we've had a budget, and it's just making it what we are usually doing. And because this is one of the two most important things that we have to do as a board, we need to start discussing the budget as an entire board as early as possible and not just rely on 2 trustees and the admin council. And we all know that in the last couple of years, it's gone down to, I might say, an acrimonious type of vote at the end. And I wish to avoid that, because I think if the board is involved from the start, then the budget process will be much smoother and much more palatable to everyone involved on this board. So I respectfully move that motion.
And I will open this for discussion. And for context, I think it's, oh, Christina, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Craig. I know this is important to you. I'm not opposed to the whole board being part of it. As previous board budget committee chair, we like that was the request of the board, and that was what was delivered in the past couple of years. Was almost every. I think there was maybe like one connect between the board budget trustees and admin without the full board, in order to get the board sections ready. So. Otherwise, all the sessions have been with the full board, and I think that's been, as you said, beneficial both to like allow us enough time to talk about it. The question I have is more procedural. One of the challenges we've had with that is it has always needed to become a board meeting because everybody's there. Have we figured out the logistics of committee of the whole type situations? Maybe that's a question for Mike / Kyle / Christine.
We have no, so please correct me if I've captured you incorrectly, Christina. So what I believe is being communicated is, as we were talking about budget and finances, is it appropriate really for it to be within a committee of the whole? Or do we need to have a legislative meeting to have a full board budget conversation that would impact future direction? Do I have that correctly, Christina?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've definitely seen both options in the past. The one being how it was done in the past when you had the board budget and then it gets presented to the board. But I do understand it creates some challenges, right? Because then you have questions and it is a very complex process. So what I've also seen and done in the past too is just establish board budget meetings where those meetings are scheduled in advance with the board and they're treated as essentially a special board meeting or a special board budget meeting where there is no committee because everybody as a trustee is essentially there to participate. You could still treat that as a committee with a special meeting so you maintain the terms of reference too as well. So does that help?
Yeah, that clarifies it for me. Thank you for the chance. Yeah.
Certainly how committee of the whole engages with regular board meetings is something that we've discussed, and I think something that we do need to continue to do that work. Under the Education Act and the board procedure regulation, it does say that the board can hold as many meetings as it considers necessary to do its business. So, theoretically, it could be under the umbrella of a special meeting. Theoretically, if those were known in advance, were declared by the board, they could even be considered sort of regular meetings. Just the agenda item is the budget, and then you can go into camera and you're covered under legislation and all those sorts of things. So there's certainly ways to do it. We'd have to probably get a little bit of advice on, how you word it. And, we would potentially have to create a policy or something or put it in a policy handbook so we're really clear on that. But I don't think that's insurmountable. But Christina, I think it's a really fundamental question because it is important that if the board is coming together as a full group and they are doing work to materially advance a motion or a decision that they're going to make, then generally speaking, that probably should be under some sort of legislated meeting. Yeah. So I guess the long answer is yes, we would have to, or the short answer is yes, we'd have to look into that. But I don't think that's insurmountable. And I think certainly work that we want to do just to tighten up some of our process. Definitely a nice segue from the last board to this board, because we absolutely talked about that and just getting that right from a process perspective.
Christina.
So then, Craig, would you accept as I'm trying to think of the wording, like a friendly amendment, if you were to, your motion was to change it from 2 trustees to a full board committee? Is that correct?
Yes.
Perfect. Provided full board meetings on the topic of budget development can be established within the regulation?
Yes, I think that's correct, according to what Mike has told us.
Christina, just for clarification, were you asking for that wording to be within the motion?
Yeah, I just want to be clear because I think it confuses the terms of reference from committee to board.
Sure. Mike.
Yeah, and what we could do is we could tag to the motion that you direct the superintendent to come back with information about how that would look. So then the board can make a decision. And then that's one of the advantages. I have a motion later similar with that we have one spot for the terms of reference. Then it's easy for us to go and change it after the fact as well. So we could, I mean, I'd have to think about wording, but we could tag that on if you'd like and ask us to do some of that background work so we can actually give you some good guidance on what would be best process on that.
I'm trying to think of wording for that right now to amend the motion. Move the terms of reference for the budget committee amended. Be amended.
Can I, Christine?
Yes, please.
Yeah. And thereby direct the superintendent to provide direction for or suggestions for board consideration to amend the terms of reference to reflect board meeting procedures for board budget discussion or board budget committee.
Thank you. And Craig, are you wanting that the chair of this committee be a trustee that is not the chair or vice chair? Are you wanting that to stay in here for now?
Yes, I think
Yep.
If I can talk to that a little bit. We come in our meetings and we talk about student leadership all the time, but we haven't really got anything that's going to develop trustee leadership. And by not having the board chair or vice chair be the chair of this committee, that gives a leadership opportunity to another trustee. So they start to understand how committees work and how they chair, and it just makes our board more effective. And I think that's the reason I chose it that way.
Thank you very much. Any discussion? Allison.
I have discussion, but it's not in regards to that part. So, is that okay?
Is there any note on the motion?
It's on the motion.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Allison.
So it's in regards to the Board of Trustees with the admin executive. I think with the admin executive, we typically can designate that it's our superintendent, and it's not for us to say that he's going to have all of his admin executive there. He may not feel that it's necessary for all of them to be there, so I would rather designate as the Board of Trustees with the superintendent or designate, and then he can assign whichever associate superintendents to be in attendance with him. But I don't think for us to ensure that all the executive committee is at all of that would be the right wording to have at this time.
Yeah, I missed that one little part. I wouldn't mind if someone wants to make an amendment that it's the whole board and the associate superintendent, business and operations, and director of finance, and the superintendent. That's fine. Because I mean, under the old committee, it was the associate superintendent and director of finance. So as long as they're there and the superintendent, that's fine with me. So if someone wants to make an amendment to that, that's okay.
Allison, is that aligned with what you were looking for? That wording? Okay. So we'll amend that to include that. Kristen, do you have the whole motion? If you need me to pause, we can just pause. Are you?
That was Christina's part. Christina, would you be able to repeat that? And we'll see if we can get that down if you can remember it.
Oh yeah, great question. And direct the superintendent to provide recommendations to the board for amendment of the terms of reference regarding the procedure for board meetings or meetings of the board budget committee. Maybe.
You could almost do that as the motion. If we wanted to clean up the motion a little bit. I shouldn't be jumping in and changing motions though.
I'm okay to let Craig stand and put mine as a separate one if you want.
That could be two motions.
Okay. Be cleaner to have two motions. Allison.
Again, but where it says the chair of this committee be a trustee that is not the chair or vice chair of the board.
Of the board chair or board vice chair.
Yeah. So I think that needs to be there just to ensure it's clear.
It's not, the committee chair is able to chair the meeting. Yeah. Any further discussion on the motion? All right, those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. So now we go to the accepting of the terms of reference for the board budget committee terms of reference. And so we know amendments are to come. And so I'm looking for a motion to accept the terms of reference. Craig.
Move that the board budget committee terms of reference as amended be approved.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you very much. We move on to 7.1.3 Community Engagement Committee. The TUR is before you. I'm looking for a motion to approve, please. Tiffany. Any discussion? Those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. 7.1.4 Division Wellness Committee. I'm looking for a motion to approve, please. Christina, thank you. Any discussion? Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to recommend that this terms of reference be reduced to a single trustee.
Okay.
This committee is very well attended by many parties, and I believe is served well by a single trustee.
Okay, there is a recommendation to move to one trustee on this committee. Craig.
I would be against that. Part of our thing is, again, we're talking about leadership and training, and I think it is vital to have two trustees so that if a trustee decides that they don't want to be on the Division Wellness Committee and another one wants to stay on, we have some continuity. And because they're the chair, then the second trustee could step in as the chair. So I would really hesitate to put any of our committees to one trustee, because we need training and we need leadership experience and we need that continuity.
Thank you, Craig. May I ask, this is a committee I have actually not sat on before. Are you able to provide context of when you look at who the membership is, are members consistently attending this committee, or is there high absenteeism? Is it typically full? When there's been two trustees on it, has it been experienced as being valuable for two trustees being present at the same time?
I was gonna say Morag, I think, has her
Yeah,
hands up.
Morag, go ahead.
Being a part of the committee for this 10th year. We actually have some lifers who've been on longer than I have. There is a real commitment by the folks that do attend that meeting, and we've only really operated with one person over the last 4 years. So Andrea was our person. And there wasn't a need to have a second trustee. But again, different, yeah, if the goal is what Craig has indicated around building leadership, certainly it would help to have someone there who has seen how it operates in sort of bridging that transition. But yeah.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah, I would just say, so like I was a second trustee for wellness committee on multiple occasions and was rarely needed, and felt like there was not really a role for a second trustee, just given, especially compared to other board committees in terms of how much of this board committee is largely driven by the other participants rather than like board direction as clearly as in other board committees. So this one specifically, I just felt like was not, doesn't benefit as much from a duplication of trustees as I feel maybe other ones do. So that's all. I'm not pressed either way. I just think this is an area where it can be more effective and more efficient. But
Thank you, Christina. Any other comments? Allison.
And I don't have a one way or the other. I'm okay. I wonder if knowing that we have new trustees here and them being able to have that opportunity that, and these are reviewed on an annual basis. So potentially we stick with the two and with the intention of reviewing it over this next year with bringing it forward for the following year with a recommendation that all the trustees around this room can have some conversation and have potentially, not everybody can attend, but at least we'll have that more input from the new trustees that might not have had experience with the committee.
Thank you, Allison. I would support that. I think it's important for trustees to have context and understanding. And so, Christina, thank you for bringing that up. And certainly, I think this is a lens through which trustees would be able to view the committees that they sit on and to see if it is a good use of time and resources for trustees to continue to be there in pairs in our committees. Can I have a motion to approve Division Wellness Committee, please? Terms of reference. Christina's was not a formal motion. No. Yeah. Tiffany, thank you. Any further discussion? And those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. 7.1.5, the Facilities Committee. I'm looking for a motion to approve, please. Allison, thank you. Any discussion? Those in favor? And that's carried. 7.1.6, Indigenous Education Advisory Committee. I'm looking for a motion to approve, please. Christina, thank you. Any discussion? Those in favor? And that's carried. 7.1.7, Policy Advisory Committee. I'm looking for a motion to approve, please. Christina, thank you very much. Any discussion? Those in favor? And that's carried. 7.1.8, Poverty Intervention Committee. I'm looking for a motion. Cheryl, any discussion? Those in favor? And that's carried. School Boundary Alignment Committee. Looking for a motion. Craig, thank you. Any discussion? Those in favor? And that's carried. 7.1.10, Spirit of 51 Committee. Looking for a motion. Christina, thank you. Any discussion? Those in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. 7.1.11 Superintendent Evaluation Committee. I'm looking for a motion. Cheryl, thank you. Any discussion? Allison.
You will see, I think at your seat, that you have a copy of policy 301.3, which is the evaluation process of superintendent. Over the course of the previous board, there was a lot of work done on ensuring that the policy reflected the practice that we wanted to do on evaluation of the superintendent. And although there was a lot of work done, and I think everybody that was on that committee, including the superintendent, felt that the policy reflects the process, and it was a really good process. The terms of reference, though, do not reflect what is in policy. So I do believe that we need to see some changes to the terms of reference, and I don't recommend that we do them today, but I think that that would be kind of the first assignment for the new committee, would be to mirror that the terms of reference do reflect what the work that was done on the policy. One of the biggest pieces, when you read the terms of reference, it sounds like the evaluation committee is the one that's doing the evaluation, and it was very purposeful that in the policy it's that the purpose of the evaluation committee is to facilitate the evaluation process. So everything is already outlined in there. And then the other big one is in the terms of reference that is in your package on number 3. It says to review the, I gotta scroll to it. So number 3 says review criteria for annual review as determined in the previous year, and it actually should state as per policy, right? So I think that there's some key pieces that we need to ensure are in alignment, unless this board doesn't want to and wants to stick with the terms of reference that are in your package and we reevaluate the policy. But those would be my points on this one.
Thank you. Would you like to amend the motion to include that? Or can we just in good faith move forward that this committee will do this work?
I think that potentially that with the motion is that, and actually it says right on the bottom of number 9 is to review the terms of reference for the superintendent evaluation committee. So I think I'm fine with them being there. I just think that the board needs to know and understand that what's in policy does not match what the terms of reference are. So there would be some work to be done, which I don't think anybody's afraid of that work. I think it's just that it would be, we had good practice in what we set up with the new policies, and I would like to see it reflected going forward. So
excellent. Thank you very much. Any other discussion? Those in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. All right, now we move on to appointments to committees. Number 8, we've all been provided with summaries of committee mandates and membership at the end of our agenda package. And so what we will do is we've also filled in a level of interest as board members. We've filled in level of interest questionnaire just to be able to know before this meeting who is interested in what committee. So hopefully that will help this process go a little bit smoother and a little bit quicker. And so what I'll do is I'll call the committee, and then we can look at our expression of interest list to see if there's a natural attendance to these committees. So first, 8.1.1, we have our board audit committee. So this committee has 2 meetings during the year. The first meeting happened in September 2025, and I believe the next and last meeting is in a couple of weeks. It's coming up very quickly. November 19th is the date of that meeting. I did attend the September meeting, but this committee is open to 2 members from our board. Allison.
Just to note, a number of some trustees will be up in Edmonton at other meetings, so it may limit or it may require it being by virtual method.
Can you help me with the date? Is that PSBA or is that ASBA?
The 19th, 16th, 17th, in the middle. So trustees are available on that day. It would just be those that are gone to Edmonton. They would need to do it by virtual. Yeah. So the Wednesday is available, but trustees don't have time to drive back. Yeah.
Thank you. So on the list is before you. I don't necessarily need to read out the interest levels of each trustee. As we move through, I am fine to sit on this as I was at the first meeting. And I will be available on the Wednesday. Is there another trustee that is wanting to join? Brooke, okay. So Brooke and myself can be on the board audit. Next, we move to the board budget committee. And we have 3 trustees that expressed high interest in this committee. Cheryl.
Was this not the committee where everyone was going to be in attendance?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Craig. Turn your mic on, please.
I did. Anyway, because I'm not a board chair or vice chair, I would like to be on the committee as the chair because we need a trustee to chair it. So, and I've never sat on as the chair of the budget committee. So that's something that I would like to learn and do.
Yes, thank you, Craig. I know in, we didn't do it for the board, the other meeting as well. Okay, so during this meeting, what we do is we establish typically 2 trustees enter into a committee and 1 trustee is certified as the chair for that committee. And so that is what Craig is requesting to be. And so I will open that up for board discussion to see if there's anyone else who is interested or agreement to that. Cheryl.
Is the process to appoint whomever needs to be chair, does that happen here or does that happen at the first meeting of that committee? Like, what is the standard process for that?
Mm-hmm. The standard process that does happen at the organizational meeting. So yeah, trustees are assigned to their committees and then the trustees that are assigned, they decide collectively who would chair that committee meeting.
I would be okay with Craig chairing that meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Tiffany. Is there any other feedback, comments? Okay, Craig, thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll just circle back to the board audit committee. So Brooke and myself are going to be attending that. Brooke, would you like to be chair of that committee or would you like me to be chair of that committee? I can be chair of that committee. That can be me. Okay. And for board awareness, chairing the committee, often in some of these committees, our executive do an excellent job of leading the meetings, but certainly we are the board representatives, and as the chair of the committee, we then write the report for that committee and present it to the board. So that is the the top responsibility of the chair of trustee committee chair. Next, we have our community engagement committee. We have 2 trustees who have expressed high interest, Brooke and Tiffany. Has that changed with anyone? And I'm looking to see who would be interested in sharing that. Okay, great. Thank you, Tiffany. Now we move to Division Wellness Committee. We have 1 high interest and 3 moderate interests. So Tiffany, you are high. And then we have Brooke, Christina, and myself as moderate. Is there someone who is vying to be the second trustee on this committee?
I don't mind. I don't mind being the second. The meeting times rarely work out for me. They intersect with like another major meeting I have every week, but I'm very happy to help with the continuity because I've been on the communications at least.
Okay. Thank you very much, Christina. Tiffany or Christina, actually, okay, so if Christina can't necessarily be consistent, Tiffany, would you be willing to chair this committee?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Facilities Committee. We have 4 trustees who have expressed high interest, Brooke, Allison, Tiffany, and Craig.
My experience was nobody ever likes this one, and Tyler always did it, so that's why I was going to step into his shoes, but I certainly step back from it.
Okay, Allison.
And I've sat on it, and I'm fine to take my name off and allow other people to have the opportunity to experience that are new, or Craig is on there too, but I'm fine to step off.
I've never sat on that committee, so that's something that I would like to try out.
And then that leaves Tiffany as our last high. Are you interested in sitting on this committee?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So between Tiffany and Craig, who would like to chair this committee? All right, Craig can be our chair. Thank you. Now we move to our Indigenous Education Advisory Committee. Christina and myself have expressed high interest. Are there any changes to what people have written? Okay. Christina, would you be interested in chairing this committee, or would you like me to chair this committee?
I'm happy to, but if you'd prefer to for consistency, or if we think that's best, I know that was a big priority for us in the next committee.
Yep. No, I'm okay if you do. I don't think that will change. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Christina. Next is our Policy Advisory Committee. 3 trustees have expressed high interest, Brooke, Tiffany, and Cheryl.
Sorry, I would be willing to do this, and I would also be willing to chair, as Tiffany has taken the lion's share of the work so far.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Cheryl.
Can
Craig,
I make a comment? This would be a little more, just so there's some background. The previous board was in the process of redoing all of the policies of this board. And so some of that work is still going on as a board. And so then once we pass it as a board, then that would be to take it to the Policy Advisory Committee for input. So just so you're aware of the context of that. A little different than the previous board where we had all of those policies. So.
Certainly, and until those policies are ratified, we do have monthly review of our current policies. Yeah. So Tiffany and Brooke are the other high individuals. Between the 2 of you, is there interest in sitting on this committee?
This was actually the committee that I actually was most excited to be a part of.
Okay.
So I would really like to be on there, but okay.
Yeah, okay. Tiffany, thank you. Next, we move on to the Poverty Intervention Committee. We have one high, Cheryl, and two moderate, Christina and myself. Both Christina and I have sat on this committee for a few years now. We do great work.
You know, I took a like compulsory break for 1 year, but I'm happy to go back if we want.
All right, are
We
you
both are
willing to
gonna be
step back
busy,
into
so-
there?
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, you can carry forward the smile cookie flag, perhaps, Christina. All right, and
Thanks for
Cheryl.
discussion.
And Cheryl, you're good to sit on this committee still, okay? And who would like to chair this committee?
I can do that if you want, Cheryl, just to, you've got it.
Sure.
Your list
whatever
is
you'd
growing.
like. Okay. Now we move on to our School Boundary Alignment Committee. This has 3 members and 3 individuals have expressed high interest, myself, Craig Whitehead, and Allison Purcell. Is there any change in interest? Okay, seeing none, the 3 of us can continue to sit on this committee. Craig, you had your hand up. Oh,
Yeah.
Tiffany, your mic is on, just so you know.
Yes, this is my baby. But anyway, I really would continue to like to be the chair just because we had started some process and I'd like to finish it through.
Okay. Thank you, Craig. Allison, are you good with that? Okay. So Craig will be the chair of that committee. The Spirit of 51 committee, this has 2 members. This is celebrating partners in education in our division. And so there's 2 with moderate, Brooke and myself. And so is there anyone else who's wanting to step onto this committee? It's the party committee, so we're going to have a good time, Brooke. Would you like to chair this committee? Okay, thank you. And Superintendent Evaluation Committee, we have, this is the board chair plus 2 members. We have 3 individuals who've expressed high interest, myself, Cheryl, and Tiffany. And so that makes up the 3 that are needed on this committee. Was there any change in interest from anyone? Okay.
Christine, just for clarification, it says board chair plus 2. So is this the board chair?
So I will
Plus
sit
2.
as
Okay,
board chair,
perfect.
and then there will
Yep.
be 2
Thank you.
trustees on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just can't remember if the board chair necessarily chairs that committee. We do chair the committee. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. Thank you. All right. We will now move on to our special ad hoc committees. 8.2, 8.2.1 ATA negotiating committee. This, we need 2 members for this and 3 have expressed high interest. Craig, Cheryl, and Allison. I'm just going to let you all discuss.
I'm fine to remove my name. It doesn't matter. I was on it last time. We didn't get to do a whole lot because obviously we didn't come back to local bargaining. So
Right.
I was hoping to potentially have an opportunity to actually get to the table and do something. But I'm fine if the others, pardon? Like we could this year. So, but.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Allison. Okay, so between Cheryl and Craig, who would like to chair this committee?
I've done it in the past, so if Cheryl doesn't mind, I'll do it again, or you can do it.
Okay, thank you, Craig. Now we move on to QP 290 negotiating committee. We need 2 members and 2 have expressed high interest, Cheryl and Christina. Is there any change to this? All right, and who would like to chair this committee?
I can chair this, Christina, if you.
Cheryl, I didn't. Yeah, I was gonna say I did last time. If you want to try it this time. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Cheryl. Now we move on to QP 2843 Negotiating Committee. We have one high interest, Cheryl, and two moderate, Brooke and Craig. Okay, so we have Cheryl and Brooke on that committee, and who would like to chair this committee? Okay, Cheryl, thank you. Next is our non-union staff committee. We need two members. We have two expressions of high interest, myself and Tiffany. If there is a member who expressed moderate and you would like to step in, I'm willing to step back if someone else would like to. Okay. Sure. Okay. There's room to fill. Should anyone have a change?
Christine, if you'd like, I can take on that non-union staff
Okay.
committee with Tiffany.
Okay. Tiffany, do you want to stay on or would you like me to sit on that? Because I know you've also picked up a lot, so I'm okay to whatever you would. Actually, if you want to. Yeah, would you like me to do that? Okay, I can do that with Craig. Craig, would you like to chair or would you like me to chair?
I'll let you chair it.
Okay, I can do that. And finally, 8.2.6, our policy review committee. This has two members. Brooke have expressed high interest. I'm okay to remove my name from this. And so Brooke and Cheryl, if you're still interested, you can be on this committee. And who would like to chair this committee? Okay, Brooke, excellent. Thank you. All right, now we have our joint committees. First is we have our ATA Working Conditions Committee. And we have two who have expressed high interest, Cheryl and Allison. Has there been any change? Okay, who would like to chair this committee? Okay, thank you, Allison. All right, and next we have our Joint City School Boards Committee, and it is across the board a high interest committee. It's an excellent committee to be on. Just for context, we've been doing a lot of work of encouraging the city to continue with this committee. It's been recommended by city administration that this committee be disbanded. So we've been working very hard over the past year to ensure that this committee stays open and to strengthen our communication and opportunities to collaborate and advocate jointly with the city to the provincial government. So that is what is happening. I will say selfishly, I would appreciate staying on. I know I've been doing a lot of work in this, so at least just for one more year, I would appreciate staying on just for the continuation of that. Christina.
Yeah, I was going to recommend, I think Christine should stay on to continue the work. She's like been extremely instrumental in the whole committee and the process. And I would actually suggest that we consider that like this one of the reps. I think it's very valuable to have the chair there. But I'm happy to take my name off this list. Someone else can do it.
Thank you, Christina. Craig.
It was you and Allison, right? That was on the committee, wasn't it?
I was on previously and presented to City Council on it previously. So
I don't mind if you and Allison do it because you've got the background knowledge and obviously you can bring that to the new, because there's new council people. So I would like to see that.
Thank you, Craig. Any other discussion? No? Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So Allison and myself can sit on that committee. Thank you. Allison, would you like me to chair that committee? Okay. All right, economic development, Lethbridge. So are we the liaison for the 2025-2026 school year? It just has the dates for last year.
So we will, in, excuse me, in March when the AGM happens, that's when our division comes up for it. So we will then have 2 years from that point.
Okay. Thank you. So we have, so this needs 1 member, and we have 2 members who have expressed high interest, Allison and Christina. Allison.
So I did sit on it when we very first got elected. I'd actually worked together with Economic Development Lethbridge to create this position because they never had an education sector position even on there. So I made sure that we got an education sector position on there. And then on the off years, I've ensured to continue to go, even though we don't have a vote. I've still been able to be there. They allow me to speak and do different things. I would like to continue to, I think that there's huge transition and change that's coming up. The executive director just took a new position in the county. So there'll be a transition with a new executive director. And so I would like to continue on, but I know that there's others that have put their name forward. So
thank you, Allison.
You
Christina.
got my vote, Allison. Go nuts.
All right. Thank you, Allison, for taking that. And next we move on to our appointment of board representatives. We have ASBA Zone 6. We have 1 high interest to be the representative, and that is Cheryl. Thank you, Cheryl. And has there been any change? Okay. Thank you very much. Craig.
Are we going to announce pick an alternate too?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Craig.
I don't mind sitting as an alternate so I can kind of guide Cheryl through what happens, but she can be our voting rep.
Sure. Is there any other interest in an alternate? All right. It's yours, Craig. Thank you very much. Now we have PSBAA. We have 2 that have expressed high interest, Craig and Brooke. And anyone can attend. And there is 1 voting rep.
Yes. It would be similar to, I think we could set it up similar to ASBA, where if I can't be there, the other person or vice versa can vote for us.
Okay.
So.
All right. So who would like to be the main representative?
I'll continue right now, and then Brooke can be the alternate.
Okay. Thank you, Craig. Division School Council, 1 member plus 1 alternate. Division School Council meets the first Monday of every month. It's a great opportunity to connect with board reps from the schools across our division, and certainly regardless of whether you are the representing trustee, all trustees are welcome to attend Division School Council. So 3 have expressed high interest, Craig, Tiffany, and Brooke. Okay. Okay. You would be an alternate. Yep. So Brooke just stepped. Yeah. Would you be doing that, Craig? Thank you. No. All right. Now we have a division student leadership. 1 member, 3 have expressed high interest, Brooke, Christina, and myself. I'm willing to pull my name from this list. You are as well. Okay, Christina, that leaves you. Are you great with that?
Yeah, very. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next we have TIBA, Teachers Employer Bargaining Association. We need one member. We have two that have expressed high interest, Allison and Cheryl.
Allison, you've done this before, yes? You want to do it again? Yep. Okay. I would defer to Allison.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Allison, for doing that. And then Team Lethbridge, 2 members. 2 members are needed. There isn't a mission this year. There should be a mission next year to Edmonton. 4 individuals have expressed interest: Brooke, Allison, Christina, and myself. So typically there's some training throughout there'll be a couple of sessions prior to the next mission, and then some training of how to engage with MLAs. And it's a really great opportunity to connect with business leaders and other municipal leaders from our city to go and advocate on behalf of Lethbridge to Edmonton. And it's a really great opportunity to highlight public education and the connection that we have to our community.
I'm happy to remove my name. I think you guys are really very qualified.
Okay. I've done it a couple of times. Well, you've done it as well. Okay. Would you like the opportunity to do it again? Okay. It's true.
Yeah, it's different every time. I realize that, but I mean, the value that I place in it is how the community shines to all the other
Yeah, absolutely.
community. The ministers are stunned when you're in a meeting with the justice minister and the chief of police and you're representing public education, the justice minister is taken back by the collaboration of the community. That's why I'd enjoy it so much.
It is really quite incredible. Okay. And Allison, you want your name to stand? Okay. And so Brooke and Allison can represent our school division for Team Lethbridge. And there is no chair for this one. Well, thank you, everyone. That was relatively painless. All right. And that brings us to the end. No? What are you saying no to? What am I missing? Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm handing it over to Mike.
Okay, for the board's consideration, I know we've had a little bit of conversation about this, and certainly acknowledging this has been certainly my thing that I've mentioned a few times. I think we should do this, and I just felt like if I'm going to keep mentioning it, I should put a memo forward for the board's consideration. So currently, in your package, you'll see that we have the current Exhibit 203.4.1A standing committees. And what it has is, and this is just towards the end of your package, it has kind of a summary of each one of the standing committees. Then we have our terms of reference that we just approved at the organizational meeting. And so what happens is those terms of reference over the course of the year, sometimes a committee will get together, they'll change the terms of reference. That's happened a few times since I've been superintendent. So then what happens is we've got terms of reference documents that we've improved in September, and it's part of the September minutes. Then we do an approval in November of 1 or 2 of the terms of reference to make adjustments. So we've got that in the November meeting. And then the next year, you have to somehow remember which months each one of the terms of reference was updated, and then make sure that you have the correct terms of reference. And we've almost always got it wrong. The other challenge, the standing committee, the summaries are nice, but when we put it as an exhibit, one of the challenges we've had is if the exhibit doesn't get updated, then it can be incongruent with policies or the the terms of reference that are currently in force. So as an organizational tool, there's definitely been conversations around taking this exhibit, the standing committee's exhibit that sort of has a summary, and making that the how, that's where we're going to house the terms of reference. So that's where the terms of reference, the official document is. We put them in there all the time, and then anytime we amend them or update them, we just make sure we update this document. And so that is the one sort of source of truth, for lack of a better term. If there's conflicts, if there's incongruence, if we're uncertain, we can always go back to that one document. We don't have to try and remember when was it approved, did it get adjusted, amended at a different point. So that's the purpose of that. And if the board is interested, there is a motion here, and the motion could be, I move that the board direct the superintendent to amend Exhibit 203.4.1A from standing committees to standing committee terms of reference, ensuring the exhibit contains the current terms of reference for each standing committee. The superintendent will present the amended exhibit for approval at the November 25th, 2025 regular board meeting. Technically, you can argue that is an exhibit a policy? It's attached to policy, and policies can be amended by motion if the motion isn't, or if the amendments aren't significant, or if they are significant, or it's a new policy, then they have to go through 3 readings. My view is, and you can certainly disagree, I wouldn't think that this is something that would need to go through 3 readings, and the reason is it's just an organizational thing. You've already approved the terms of reference, and so it's just a matter of housing them in a different location. Does that sort of make sense, and is that clear? Yeah, so really up to the board. You know, if next steps, if you want to move forward with this, then I'll certainly answer any questions that you might have, or the other option is someone can move the motion and then we can have discussion and debate on it. It's up to you. Obviously, I can't move a motion, so it's up to a trustee if they'd like to move that motion or an amended version of said motion.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for doing this. We've been talking about this for years, so it's great to have the solution in a motion. I am looking for a motion to begin discussion, please. Cheryl. I was waiting for you to say the motion. That's okay. So no, that's okay. The motion is before us in writing, and I will open it up to discussion. All right. Oh,
We were just talking that we could smell something burning,
yes, I can as well.
and so I'm just wondering. Oh, okay, thank you.
Interesting. Okay. Sorry for those watching us. We're okay. We're smelling burning things, so we're all okay. Okay. All right. Is there any discussion on the motion?
I have a question about the process.
Yes.
With the motion. So when you revise or these terms of reference, will you be looking to create a more consistent format, or will that be something that's put to the committees to do? So for example, there are some things that are really good, like some of these say generally meet 3 times a year, and then in parentheses they have usually October, May, and June or something. And I'm just wondering if we could move towards some sort of consistency.
I am chuckling because as I look through them, that's one of the things that I don't love about the terms of reference. They're each a little bit different. The headings are a little bit different. And I'd really love to have a template that we follow for all the terms of reference so they're consistent. So certainly agree with that. It wasn't my intention to bring that forward simply because I'm not sure we could get it done in time, but that could be work that we continue ongoing. And if we start off with getting them in the one location and then working on, let's get the formatting consistent. And for me, I think that's really important because it provides guidance to the committees as well. Here is what, if the committee does want to make changes of terms of reference, here's what the board expects in a terms of reference. These are the items, the headings that we want. This is what the formatting should look like. And regardless of what the committee is, it should always be the same format. And so I certainly agree with that. I'm not sure we could get there for this next meeting, but would love to work towards that goal.
Good question. Thank you, Cheryl. Any other discussion? Those in favor? And that is carried. Our terms of reference have a home. All right, thank you. And that brings us to number 10, adjournment from our organizational meeting. So we are adjourned at 3:41. Thank you.